Hey guys, it's Lindsay. We're back with coupled refill number 8. And look who I have in the building. Dom, y'all. Domonique's in San Diego. I'm so excited. And she's doing a refill with me. And then
special announcement.
We also have Alicia back. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna show you her. She's back.
Lots to say, so let's get started. Let's go.
Okay. Alicia has ditched me the past few refills.
Oh, but she has a lot to say today, so hold on to your seats.
Yes.
This was a good episode, so I hope you guys have your wine.
Cheers. Cheers, Alicia. From
Cheers.
Skype. Well, we want to make sure that you guys watch the episode, so go back onto Hulu or Fox.com or even YouTube, I think has full episodes. So you want to make sure you watch this one.
There was a lot jam-packed into 42 minutes. We'll just say that.
Yes. Just because I'll show you guys this. Alex and I, because all I do apparently is laugh. I never speak much on this, but it's fine.
You look good right there, though.
Oh, thanks. We were just kind of laying there hanging out, and Lisa and Ben were doing all their yoga and Zen stuff, and we were like dying laughing because that's all we do. And we were just having fun because we were like, we should probably be working out and doing some yoga, but they were practically having sex on the edge of the spa, which, I mean, no hate.
I say do you. You're on
Right?
vacation, live it up, that's your man. I'm not gonna hate on you just because I'm at these bungalows with no hot water. Do you?
When the words herself.
Another helicopter lands and we see a tall, dark, and handsome, so you know I got excited. But as the man starts to come a little closer, I'm like, I've seen this guy before. Where have I seen that face?
Always wearing the best.
Was it in my
sharpest clothes.
dreams?
Yeah. I was like, shoot, Terrence is the next guy? Okay.
And then it ended up being Terrence to tell us he was sending us home.
Plot twist. Plot twist.
At this point, you guys can probably tell if you've already watched the episode, myself is left at the bungalows. It's Talia, Brittany, and Alex, and Alyssa. And between the 5 girls that were left, there were very mixed emotions. I personally was already packed and ready to go. Some of the other girls, you know, felt my same sentiments. They were also ready to go. And there were a few girls that I will, you know, leave them, you know, anonymous. They were really upset about there not being any more guys on the island. Let's be honest, Mark Burnett didn't have us sign a contract for 2 years and say you're going to be on this island until we get you the perfect guy.
Right.
How awesome would that have been? That wasn't the case. We knew that there was going to be a small number of guys, and if it worked out, it worked out, and it just didn't. So it was time for us to go. I was ready.
But then he says, you guys are going back to the villas and you're gonna go see all the couples and get to say goodbye, which, by the way, I was so excited that happened.
I'm really happy for those that have gotten coupled, and I'm really rooting for them. Like, of course I have my favorites. Who doesn't? And I'm hoping that things work out for them, and I'm not sad to be going home. I'm actually really excited to go home.
You gave it a good, honest shot. I mean, you made it to the villas, you experienced being coupled for a shorter time, unfortunately, but you learned from that. Yeah. And you weren't afraid to go after it again. You met a lot of different guys, and it just didn't work. And that's, I feel like, real life. Like, I feel like if they had 12 guys and 12 girls and everyone's supposed to have a match, like, that wouldn't be an interesting show, and it wouldn't be something relatable and like real life.
I'm very hopeful that whoever Mr. Right is, he's out there. But not only did I take away the lessons that I personally learned from coupled, I'm taking away the lessons that Lindsay learned, and Ashley learned, and Alicia learned, and Alex, and Brittany, and Talia. Like, I'm taking away all of their stories, and I'm going to add that to my own when I get home and Mr. Right slides in my DMs.
I mean, it happens.
We go to the villas and we get there and we realize that we've seen all of the girls except for Kristen. Where is Kristen?
There she is. Yep, she was sleeping.
So you're there. What is going on with Kristen and Jeff?
Let me tell you, Jeff had not been feeling it with Kristen for quite some time. Yeah, you know, it's hard because we don't always see like every single moment of them together and the conversations they would have and stuff. Like, I didn't see all that, but you know, if you know in your heart of hearts and in your gut that this is not the person that you're supposed to be with, it's okay to walk away. But, you know, he and Kristen just did not click, and he really thought that like she was bossy.
What I began to learn from Kristen is that she truly was there to fall madly in love with someone and to have this amazing love story to be able to tell their grandkids. And I just think that her and Jeffrey weren't on the same page, which is totally fine.
Right.
But as the girls got back to the couples village to say our goodbyes, there were a lot of other things going on. Well, we find out that basically there's some trouble in the water with Jeffrey and Kristen, and we're kind of wondering, what does that mean? Is Kristen coming home on my flight? Is Kristen gonna stay? Who is going to stay with Jeffrey? And you know, come to find out, Jeffrey and Alex have a conversation.
So feel comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I feel comfortable with it. Like, Tyler's more of a situation for you, where you're like, I don't know if you're heartbroken.
I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna talk to girls.
So what was missed that you guys don't see, this is an exclusive behind the scenes tip. When Alex has talked to Jeffrey and Jeffrey has kind of like thrown his pebble into the water about wanting to stay with Alex, the conversation then turns to, are you truly here to pursue something with Jeffrey, or do you still want to see if there's something with Tyler? I had a big problem with this. Major key alert, as DJ Khaled would say.
Let the people know.
When Alex says that she needs to have a conversation with the girls, she actually does have a conversation with us. Alyssa, Talia, myself, and Lindsay were all sitting on Lindsay's balcony talking, and Alex comes in and she says, oh my God, you guys, Tyler just cornered me downstairs to tell me this, that, and the third. She talks about this for about 20 minutes, and then she tells us that, oh, by the way, Jeffrey told me also that he wants to stay here with me. Lindsay, what was my response?
Well, you said you weren't attracted to black guys, right?
And then I went on to tell her that you just spent 20 minutes talking about the guy that you're not gonna stay here with. What does that say about your intentions for wanting to stay?
How vocal was Alex the whole time on her type of man, right? I mean, you're thinking brown hair, brown eyes. You're thinking BT, you're thinking Tyler's her type. Guns in her house, conservative, lives in the South, and then she ends up with Usher?
Wait. We need another camera. I don't think it's fair to cut Jeff off because you really haven't had proper time to get to know him. I've been here with him for a couple of days. He is actually a really good guy. Why not give it a shot? But I don't know if that like we convinced her that like, okay, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to stay here and give it a shot. I don't know. I mean, maybe in their conversation she really did feel something for Jeff.
Jeff and Alex ride into the sunset of being together. What is your thought?
Like, what were you
feeling?
happens?
At this point, I'm thinking that Alex and I have squashed everything. We had our conversation outside earlier in the day. I'm thinking we're going to be cool for the rest of the time that we're there. Here's something that you didn't see. Days before, Jeffrey had sent a text message to Alyssa while she's at the bungalows. Not everyone knows this. It was a long paragraph of the text explaining, I really wanted to be here with you. You and Alex are my top two, but I can't stop thinking about you, Alyssa. How would you feel if me and you had an opportunity? I'm not really getting along with Kristen. So he initially texted Alyssa, and she declined or she didn't answer. One of those.
She didn't answer.
Well, I think she responded and just was like, that's very nice of you. I'm shocked. I'm sorry to hear things aren't working with you and Kristen, but yeah, it's a no for me.
Alyssa pulls me aside. She gives me her cell phone and she's like, read this, girl, read this. My eyes were like, what?
So episode 8 really narrowed it down to the top, couples that were still left in the villas. There were some kinks worked out, some new couples joined on, all that. I was really actually bummed out that girls that were still at the bungalows had to go home. But it comes down to the premise of the show, and that's being coupled. And the whole point of the show is you know, do you have a strong enough connection to actually be a couple and date at home in the real world? Do you leave Anguilla as a solid couple, or do you leave single again? That was cute.
A lot of people on social media are really bashing Tyler, his age, the fact that he only picked me because of physical attraction. I can't tell you enough how many times he and I connected on different levels intellectually. He's actually really, really freaking smart. He's definitely a 24-year-old kid, but there are moments when we were together in Anguilla where I was like, wow, you're pretty smart. No one's giving you any credit. And we connected and we got along and we laughed constantly. And that moment out on the dock was one of those moments where we just got along. It was so easy with him. We were laughing the whole time. It started to rain. He threw his cup down and kissed me in the rain, and it was awesome. He was just such a man in that moment.
It was so cute.
And yeah, we had such a good time. So I think that was a highlight of the show for me. Something that I really appreciated about Tyler was he respected my decision to not share a bedroom. So what you didn't see is he personally went to the villa staff and requested additional accommodations, separate bedroom just for me. And I really appreciated that. So the whole time that Tyler and I were coupled, we never shared a bedroom. So that's something you didn't see.
I'm excited to take a seat back, not be in my own head, and really watch what happens between the couples before coupled is over.
With these next 2 episodes, it comes down to really diving into each relationship, getting a little more serious, maybe hearing some more in-depth conversations, which would be nice, and seeing if you have that true connection. And, you know, some things happen that I can't spoil. You just have to tune in.
You have to tune in. You won't hear any more commentary from this one.
No.
But
I know.
So I will ask you this. Out of, you know, we're at episode 8, and you've been with Alex the longest out of any of the other girls.
Yeah.
At this point, what do you wish you could go back and tell Lindsay in that moment?
Ooh. You know, it's hard because I don't think that there's enough time, like Fox has enough time to really show a lot of depth to these relationships. So you don't always see, you know, the in-depth conversations that Alex and I have. One thing that I've really learned is I need to be able to speak up. And it's okay to disagree with somebody. It's okay to have differences. But to always kind of keep in mind that your wants and needs are important too.
Yeah. One of the things that Lindsay and I talked about off camera before we started was, you know, what was my takeaway? One of the things that I learned was, if you realize, I waited a really, really long time to have a really personal conversation with the guy that I was coupled with that I should have had days before then, but I was afraid of what his response was going to be. And I think that's how a lot of women approach their relationships. Like, they know the questions they need to ask, but they're afraid to ask them because they don't know what that response is.
They're afraid of the outcome.
Right.
If we could help anybody out there that maybe is going through something similar, it's don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and the things that you want and you desire, because that is so important. And you don't want to ever like take a step back for that, because you're going to be the one who's unhappy in the end.
Exactly.
So it's always about being upfront, honest about your feelings, and really not to hold back.
An area of growth that I had on the show. I want everyone to be okay and happy. For some reason, that's viewed as weakness, and it's as a bad thing. And I don't think that's a bad thing about me, that I care for people's happiness, but apparently it was seen that way. It's not about everyone else's happiness. I need to put myself first. There were things that happened on the show, but more importantly, post-show, that have opened my eyes and enlightened me profoundly on the character of different people and why I should not care whether or not these people are or are not happy. It's like, it is what it is. You're not going to get along with everyone that you meet. I wish everyone well. So next week, I can't believe we only have 2 episodes left, you guys. Things are getting down to the wire. Will we not stay coupled? Terrence has to have some pretty serious talks with the guys and pretty serious talks with the ladies to see where our heart's at, where our minds are at. I know behind the scenes I'm thinking, like, I've only known Tyler for like less than 4 or 5 days. How are you expecting me to know? I know some of the other girls have been there longer. Lindsay, you've been there a full month, so you're really thinking like, okay, like, are we going to date after we leave here? So this is a big episode coming up, you guys. And something big is happening next week though with BT and Ashley. It's going to be the most shocking episode yet. Thank you guys for watching Coupled Refill. I'm so happy I got to do this with Dom and Lindsay.
So make sure you guys tune in, and then tune in to Coupled Refill. Following next week.
Following next week. I won't be there, but if you're just kind of like, I really, really love Domonique and I want to know what's going on in her life,
What's your like social
come
media?
find me. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Domonique P_ESQ. That is DOMONIQUE. Come follow me. I had fun on Refilled. Lindsay, thank you so much for having me.
So glad.
She's like a doll. I'm really excited to see what happens with her in her life. And Lindsay is definitely one of the girls who will be a lifelong friend. So I'm excited.
Love that. Love you. I love you. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye, guys. Bye.
Give it to me, I'm worth it.